And it's time for the After the Show show.
Hi, Brian.
So what should we discuss, ladies?
It's a really busy day. So did we ever get to the bottom of things as to whether or not they caught who the person was that they caught in Brussels? There was a press conference going on.
Yeah, all we know is it wasn't the guy in white on the right.
Okay. So
And
the guy seen in surveillance video, they did not capture him. He is still on the run.
He's still on the run.
That guy in the white on the right was not captured, but apparently the other two are brothers, and they are dead.
They're dead.
Right, and there were reports that the guy in white...
They're the brothers.
They went to his apartment. The taxi cab driver that drove them all to the airport, when he saw this news happening yesterday morning, he contacted police. The police officers went to his apartment and found a bag that wouldn't fit in the taxi cab, and it did have a bomb in it. And he said they went through during the press conference all the things that were found in these bombs, and they're just over-the-counter products that you could buy.
Acetone, things like that. But the other thing that is diabolical that they put into their bombs, and this is something that we've seen in the Mideast for years, they put nails, little nails, bolts, things that when they go flying 1,000,000 miles an hour, put out an eye or kill you instantly.
And nobody knows that better than the Israelis. You know, they've had so much experience with those kinds of horrific bombs being set off there.
When you saw that picture this morning, the X-ray of the lady's lung, and one of the nails had penetrated her chest and punctured one of her lungs, and you could see this 4-inch nail in her body.
Yeah.
The shrapnel.
You know, one of the things that has me worried today, and that's that story in the New York Post about the siblings who are missing.
Yes.
Those two siblings were over there. Their father had worked in Belgium, and the mother, I believe, she's here in the United States. We're trying to track them down. I'm filling in for Gretchen on her show later today. Would love to have them on to hear more about what happened, but showing up at the airport, checking in to come home, and then haven't been heard from since. So I'm praying that they are not victims.
Well, they were talking on the phone to a family member, and you could hear, and there's a nail right there puncturing that person's lung. Oh, man, can you imagine? What just hit me? A nail.
You know, I guess
in an airport.
From our experience in reporting on things like this, unfortunately, too many of these types of things, eventually in the next days to come, we'll start seeing some of these victims and the pictures and learning more about who they are and their family members. And it really hits home when you see their faces. But hopefully these two are not among the victims. Yeah.
That mom,
that beautiful
looking
girl
for any help she can find in
she was
trying
on
to track them down.
They were on the phone with the mom.
I believe
we were reporting
it was
relatives.
a family member. I know we said a family member. You just mentioned something that made me think of something. I was speaking to a friend of mine who grew up in Berlin in the 80s. Her father was the head of all the European routes for Pan Am Airlines. Terror attacks in large part took down Pan Am Airlines as a result. My friend growing up in Berlin, her father always said to her, try to stay away from these big airport open areas outside of security, because that was a prime place where terrorists attacked back in that day. And,
you know, and I am not an alarmist.
That is something that could happen again today.
I'm not an alarmist, but now I'm starting to think, all right, Ainsley, maybe you need to be more of one, and you need to start watching out and be more vigilant. You know, I'm not very perceptive either. I don't notice when these guys, we saw the picture of the guys with the gloves. I would not have ever noticed that. Would you guys have noticed that?
No.
But we're not trained in that either.
No,
so
we're not.
So it gave me the chills when Catherine Herridge first came out with her report yesterday and said, here's what I noticed. The guys are wearing khakis. They were trying to blend in, almost as though they were Westerners.
They were Americans.
Because Europeans don't tend to wear khakis. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
The black glove.
Right.
Same thing.
Right.
We're just not trained in that.
Right.
Well, a lot to think about.
Yeah,
just stay out of crowds.
By the way, you've got your elephant tie on today, Steve.
Vineyard Vines gave me the elephant tie, and they gave me the donkey tie, and because it was a big day, we had Ted Cruz on today, so I wore the elephant tie.
You are fair and balanced. Yes, you are.
If Hillary Clinton's on tomorrow, I'm going to wear the donkey tie.
Come on. We're asking you to.
That's it right
there. There it is. It's very pretty. Vineyard Vines.
Cute stuff.
Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m.